Good evening. You're now with me, Andy Gui, for TVS Nightline. Here are the headlines for tonight. Ex-work rep due to MTUC's leadership crisis. Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim hails ties with Guinea-Bissau as gateway to deeper African engagement. On global affairs, Lee Jae-myung wins South Korea's presidency in snap election after political turmoil. The absence of workers' representatives in the Malaysian delegation to the 2025 International Labour Conference ILC in Geneva has been labelled a serious failure following the ongoing internal crisis within the Malaysian Trades Union Congress MTUC. In a statement, the Sarawak division of MTUC stressed that long-standing disputes over leadership within MTUC have undermined its role as a voice for workers on the global stage. According to the statement, priority must be given to transparency, fairness and swift resolution to ensure that MTUC can once again function effectively as a body that champions workers' rights. The ongoing administrative turmoil within MTUC, which is currently being overseen by a Special Joint Committee JBK, has led to the postponement of leadership re-elections to August 2025. The absence of duly elected office bearers to carry out the functions of MTUC meant that the government is legally unable to issue credentials on behalf of the union for international representation. Meanwhile, Sarawak Bank Employees Union CEO Andrew Low in a separate statement said JBK had overstepped its mandate after protesting the government's refusal to grant credentials to a delegate from MTUC. According to Andrew, any actions outside the JBK's mandate may be seen as a contempt of court and may result in the sanctioning of MTUC by the court. In this regard, he called on MTUC to resolve its internal issues in order to resume its rightful role in representing the interests of Malaysian workers instead of harping about participation in a foreign conference. The 66th anniversary of the Sarawak United People's Party SUPP marks more than just the founding of the state's oldest political party. It stands as a powerful symbol of unity and a renewed commitment to a sustainable future for Sarawak. SUPP Deputy Secretary General Dr. Loh Keh Chiang emphasized the importance of remembering the party's historical roots, which have not only shaped Sarawak's political landscape but continue to guide the party's direction today. Loh, who is also Batu Kitang Assemblyman, expressed strong confidence in the leadership of SUPP President Dr. Amar Dr. Sim Kui Hian, whom he described as the right leader to uphold the aspirations of both the party and the people of Sarawak. Now, SUPP has reaffirmed its unwavering commitment to defending the rights and interests of the people of Sarawak. SUPP Vice President Dr. Michael Tiang Ming Tee emphasized that since its founding in 1959, SUPP has been a pioneer in promoting equality across all races and religions. And as the first local political party in Sarawak, SUPP has played a vital role in fostering unity among the state's diverse multiracial communities.
66年，我们经历过各种的挑战，面对各种的打压，但是我们从来没有低过头，因为我们知道我们的背后有千千万万的沙劳越人民，还有他们所给予我们的信任和托付。
Speaking during the SUPP Cebu branch flag-raising ceremony at the party headquarters today, he said SUPP's current focus is championing Sarawak's rights to autonomy as outlined in the Malaysia Agreement 1963. At the same time, he acknowledged that as both vice president of the party and chairman of SUPP Palawan branch, the struggle is far from easy, and the party continues to face numerous challenges. Therefore, in his capacity as Deputy Minister of Public Health, Housing and Local Government, he called on all Sarawakians to stand united and nurture the spirit of togetherness for a brighter and more successful future for the state.
Sarawak continues to advance as a regional leader in clean energy after unveiling its renewable energy vision at the Energy Exports Conference EEC 2025 in Aberdeen, Scotland. Sarawak Deputy Minister for Energy and Environmental Sustainability, Dr. Hazlan Abang Hibni, outlined the state's strategic direction in clean energy development, including major investments in hydropower, hydrogen production, and renewable energy infrastructure. During an interactive interview session at the conference, Dr. Hazlan emphasized public-private partnerships, technological innovation, and international collaboration as key drivers in accelerating the energy transition. He also welcomed global investors and technology partners to explore opportunities and support sustainable energy projects in Sarawak. According to a media statement today, Sarawak's presence at EEC 2025 highlights the state's strategic approach to strengthening clean energy innovation and attracting international investments. It further reinforces Sarawak's role as a global leader in renewable energy and its strong commitment toward a sustainable energy future. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim today highlighted Malaysia's strengthening relationship with Guinea-Bissau as a strategic platform for expanding the nation's presence across the African continent, underscoring Guinea-Bissau's potential to serve as a key conduit for trade, investment and diplomatic engagement. Speaking at a joint press conference with President Umar Sissoco Embalo, who is on a 3-day official visit to Malaysia, Anwar noted that the growing partnership between both countries marks a significant turning point in Malaysia's approach to Africa.
To me, it is a key country that will leverage our positive momentum in the West African region and potentially into Africa.
Embalo's visit is the first ever official visit of a head of state from Guinea-Bissau to Malaysia. While acknowledging that past relations were modest, Anwar said this renewed engagement reflects a shared ambition to build stronger ties across various sectors.
He has that vision to work with us, to engage with Malaysia as a base for the ASEAN region, and we to accept the role of Guinea-Bissau to expand our relations, trade, investments in various fields.
Anwar said that as a trading nation, Malaysia values partnerships grounded in mutual trust and shared aspirations, adding that Embalo's proactive stance aligns well with the country's foreign policy principles. President Embalo, in turn, praised Malaysia as a brotherly nation and expressed confidence in the potential for a strong and lasting partnership. He also expressed Guinea-Bissau's interest in learning from Malaysia's experience and best practices in areas such as education, healthcare, and industrial development. Democratic Party DP candidate Lee Jae-myung was declared South Korea's new president today, following a sweeping victory in a snap election triggered by political upheaval. Lee defeated Conservative Kim Mon-soo, representing the party of ousted former President Yoon Suk-yeol, in a decisive win for the Liberal camp. He takes office immediately, inheriting leadership of a nation still grappling with the fallout from the previous administration's failed bid to impose martial law. According to a local news agency, Lee officially begins his 5-year term as South Korea's president today after the National Election Commission (NEC) certified his victory. He was sworn in as president at 6:21 a.m. immediately after receiving formal confirmation from the NEC in a plenary session. Lee assumed the country's top office without a transition period, as the snap election was held just a day earlier to replace former President Yoon Suk-yeol, who was removed from office following a failed attempt to declare martial law. Lee also officially took over responsibilities as the head of state and commander-in-chief of the armed forces from acting President Lee Joo-ho. The Liberal Democratic Party candidate won the election with 49.42% of the vote, defeating his Conservative People Power Party rival Kim Won-soo, who received 41.15%. Meanwhile, Malaysian Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim has extended his warmest congratulations to Lee Jae-myung on his election win. He said this marks a turning point for South Korea, a nation that has emerged from a period of intense contest and scrutiny with resilience and democratic resolve. In a Facebook post, he also welcomes opportunity for cooperation to strengthen the bilateral relations between both nations. Wrapping up the Nightline, UN Human Rights Chief Volker Turk on Tuesday said deadly attacks on civilians around 8 distribution sites in the Gaza Strip constituted a war crime. Rescuers in the Palestinian territory said Israeli fire targeting civilians near an aid distribution center in the southern city of Rafah killed 27 people on Tuesday, raising an earlier toll.
Deadly attacks on distraught civilians trying to access the paltry amounts of food aid in Gaza are unconscionable. For a third day running, people were killed around an aid distribution site run by the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. This morning, we received information that dozens more people were killed and injured. There must be a prompt and impartial investigation into each of these attacks and those responsible held to account. Attacks directed against civilians constitute a grave breach of international law and a war crime.
It came after a similar incident on Sunday when rescuers said 31 people were killed at the same location, with witnesses saying they had been on their way to collect aid. Turk added that for a third day running, people were killed around an aid distribution site run by the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, or GHF. The US-backed GHF is a recently formed group that Israel has cooperated with to implement a new aid distribution mechanism in Gaza. The United Nations does not work with the foundation because of concerns that it does not meet core humanitarian principles of neutrality, impartiality, and independence. Turk called for a prompt and impartial investigation into each attack and for those responsible to be held to account.
See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. For more headlines, anytime, anywhere, just head on to our official website at tvsarawak.my or follow us on our social media platforms. Those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Henry Gui. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.